Hi, welcome back to Wildsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne and I am very happy to have you here with me for day 9 of our 16 days of Art Studio Valentine Love. Valentine. I've been making Valentines to give to the hospital and to send to friends. Yep, having a good time. So today we're going to do some paper cuts, but we're doing some special things with paper cuts. Sorry, this is a whole stack of papers and not all of them are pertinent. We are making pretty stationery. Can't you imagine writing a letter? Dear friend, you are my special, extra awesome friend. Yeah, so this is making a paper cut and then using a stamp pad ink to make stationery from. All right, are you ready? We have here just a regular piece of white paper, and let me show you. So in this one, I made a paper cut, that special paper cut where you can cut something that's rectangular rather than square. And in this one, this is a concentric paper cut in a circle. It's like the way you make a snowflake. So the one we're going to do here, I was thinking would be great fun. Sorry, wrong glasses. If I did a fan fold. We were doing fan folds yesterday in the green. So I folded my piece of paper. This will work for A4 or American 8.5 by 11. So fold it in half, then in half again, but front to the front and back to the back. Here, let's do this over against the dark. You can see it a little better. So I found this morning the video to watch the ribbon dances at the World Championships. Those are totally amazing, right? Like, I've never danced like that with them, but I thought it would be fun for you to see the like what you can do if you really know what you're doing in those dances. So what I'm going to do, this is going to lay out like that, right? I was thinking that I would just do a little bit of decoration here and a little bit here. Oh, which actually might work out better if I folded this in half, but that's too much to cut. So I'll show you what I can do instead. So we'll do a heart because it's Valentine's Day, and that's a good idea. So this is Saturday for you, and I gave you the dancing sticks yesterday. On Friday, which maybe you won't get to until today. If you have kids in your life, I was thinking that would be a great thing for them to play with this weekend. And if you're making them together, they could give those to their friends or something, you know, like make some for their friends. How do I want to cut that? So this is a much quieter project, but I also think it's something that your kids might like if you're doing this for kids. If you're not, and you have the luxury of being able to work on this yourself, bless those dear children. This will be a very sweet thing to do with your morning coffee or your afternoon tea. All right, so the idea I had was that instead of, I want both sides to mirror each other, but instead of trying to cut through all those layers of paper at the same time, we can trace the paper. I'll trace what I've already cut onto the other side. And then we can cut that, and it'll be a much easier cut rather than the, I don't know, like 16 layers of paper, which in office paper is way too much. End up getting, you know, messy cuts. And it doesn't matter if any of the paper cuts show, because this is going to be our stencil. The other thing that I tried with this, and I'm not sure it was as successful as I wanted it to be, was after I had made one sheet, I took it to my scanner printer. My scanner is not adjusted so that what I scan is basically the same color that prints out. So that's too bad for me. But anyway, with the pink one that I did, this one, the red seemed to be a little bit right on. With the blue one, it actually came out streaky. So my printer's just acting up. It was a different color purple because the blue is adjusted a bit differently, which would have been fine if it hadn't also been streaky. So I don't know, I'm going to have to do something about adjusting the printer so that it will stop doing that. All right, come out. There we go. So this is a pretty easy concept. Once you kind of see how you do the first one, I am going to let you play with this as much as you like. You can make any kind of a paper cut. Listen, folding backwards, even if you don't usually take the time to do that, please do that this time. It'll make a huge difference in getting the top paper placed correctly over it if the paper cut itself is lying flat. So just bend each little part of the paper cut bend the folds backwards a little bit so that they will lie flat. Now, this blank paper down the middle, if your eye feels at all uncomfortable with having the color come in, you can kind of write your Valentine letter right down the middle. So it works out okay. All right, so now we will take a plain piece of paper. And put this over it. And you know what? I'm going to take a little bit of tape. What did I do with my tape? Tell you what. I can use a little bit of washi tape. Which won't stick to the paper. Alrighty. So how are we placed there? So I'm putting the washi tape where the paper cut is, but not so that it will bump into where the actual cuts are. This should keep the paper we are stamping on and the paper cut all together. So I have some purple here. Let's give that a try. This is Distress Oxide. Now, I think this would work just fine with regular ink. I don't think you have to have a special kind of ink. I am tamping, and I was watching a video with Tim Holtz, and he definitely draws the pad across the paper. If you do that with a paper cut, you're going to start mangling the paper cut. So we have to just pat the color in. Just a little tricky right there on the edge. And I found that you don't want to jam down too hard, or you tend to make a circle, and then it shows as a circle, not just color. So many little pats are better than one strong pat. Oops. That's what we don't want, little bendies in our paper cut. Want a peek? Isn't that cool? Yeah, so this might be sort of a lot of work to do if you wanted a bunch, like maybe you want to give a friend of yours a little stationery kit, and you could make this person their own stationery in their favorite color, maybe yellow or green or anything. It doesn't have to be a Valentine color. But if you wanted to make, you know, a set of 10 or a set of 20 papers, then it might be nice to photocopy all of these. And it's occurring to me that I could take my papers down to Staples and copy them down there, where they probably have machines that are color adjusted a little bit better. Okay, so right here, do you see was clearly leaning on one edge and the metal ended up making a mark. Oops. So I'm just making sure we've got plenty of color in all of the little areas. Okay, ready? Let's take these off. Oops. There we go. What do you think? Yeah, so I made some little circle marks in a couple of places, but I still think, won't that deer? And actually, let's do this. This is one of my copy papers. So let's take a regular blue pen. Just testing whether you can write over the colors and still read it. This is going to go to my sister. There, now she knows. Rich is her husband. I think, oops, I just lost my my microphone. Sorry about that. So I think you can read that just fine over the top of the inking. So there we are, your very own handmade Valentine stationery. And of course, if you would like to make a different pattern for a different friend, you could do this a couple of times. I wish you happy, happy letter writing and some wonderful friends to give presents to. Noise. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll see you tomorrow with another project. Bye.